Once upon a time, there was a young girl who loved to daydream. She would spend hours staring out the window, watching the clouds drift by and letting her imagination run wild. One day, while doing just that, she noticed a peculiar cloud that looked exactly like a majestic castle in the sky, and then something incredible happened. Eager to explore, she skipped down the path, eager to discover where this wondrous place. At the end of the path, she found a massive wooden door adorned with shimmering sugar crystals. Before she could even knock, the door swung open, revealing a grand staircase spiraling upwards into the heart of the castle. The castle, once so welcoming, now seemed to be closing in on her. But no matter how fast she ran, she couldn't find the door she had come through. The castle seemed to be shifting and changing, its rooms rearranging themselves in an endless labyrinth. The door slammed shut behind her, the suits of armor rattled, and the whispers of unseen voices echoed through the halls. Fear began to creep into her heart. She was utterly alone in this strange and unsettling place. The girl, her heart pounding in her chest, took a deep breath and replied, her voice trembling slightly, "It is I please wake up." She hesitated for a moment, then stepped inside. The cloud castle seemed to wink at her, and before she knew it, she found herself falling through a fluffy white cloud. Clocks on the walls moved backward, shadows detached from their sources and danced across the floor, and mirrors reflected not her own image, setting in motion the events that would determine not only her fate, but the very essence of the dream she found herself trapped within. Trapped in a prison of her own fears and uncertainty, she stumbled upon a hidden doorway concealed behind a shimmering curtain. Hope surged through her. Maybe this was the way out. But alternate versions of herself, some happy, some sad, some full of despair. Who dares disturb the slumbering castle? Startled, the girl turned to face the source of the voice, knowing that whatever she saw would change everything. She tumbled and turned until finally she landed with a soft thud on a bed of moss beneath a giant oak tree. And there it was again, the Cloud Castle, now towering over her in all its glory. It wasn't just a castle, it was a breathtaking palace made of spun sugar and candied fruit, shimmering in the afternoon sun. The sight was so magical that the girl stood there in awe for what felt like hours, not moving, not breathing, not even blinking, afraid to miss a single detail. There were gardens that bloomed with luminous flowers, fountains that sang and danced, and trees that bore delicious fruit. Time seemed to stand still as she explored this wondrous realm. As the sun began its slow descent, she noticed a path leading up to the castle. As she climbed the stairs, she noticed suits of armor along the walls, each one more elaborate than the last. They were crafted from spun sugar, too, and sparkled like 1,000 stars. Suddenly, one of the suits of armor creaked and moved. The girl gasped and hurried inside the nearest room, which looked like a library filled with thousands of books. She wandered through the silent halls, discovering magical rooms filled with enchanting creatures and captivating landscapes. But as the night wore on, she began to feel a sense of unease. In a desperate attempt to escape, she ran through the castle, searching for an exit. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, the castle's true nature began to reveal itself. With each passing moment, the castle's hold on her tightened, its whispers growing louder, its presence more menacing. And then she heard a voice, soft yet commanding, echoing through the chamber. The voice echoed again, and the very walls of the castle seemed to listen intently, waiting for a response. As soon as the words left her lips, the castle rumbled, and the gears of magic began to turn.